This is Nightline, and I'm Sabrina Zainal. The top stories. EPF records 29% higher distributable income of 36.7 billion ringgit in first half of 2024. And foreign illegal online gambling, nearly 300 million ringgit worth of financial assets frozen. Good morning. We begin with this story. The Employees Provident Fund, EPF's total distributable income for the 6 months ended June 30th, 2024, increased by 29% to 36.7 billion ringgit from 28.4 billion ringgit in the previous corresponding period. EPF Chief Executive Officer Ahmad Zulkarnain attributed the positive results to favorable market conditions in Malaysia and internationally. In a statement on Tuesday, Zulkarnain said assets under management grew to 1.21 trillion ringgit, of which 38% is in overseas investments. He added the EPF's total distributable income for the second quarter after write-downs rose 25% to 17.5 billion ringgit from 13.98 billion ringgit in the same quarter last year. The Malaysian market has benefited from increasing investor interest in growth-oriented policies and fiscal reforms, while the international markets, such as the US, benefited from continued solid macroeconomic conditions, declining inflation, and anticipation of the beginning of an interest rate reduction cycle. Zulkarnain also said that despite relatively calm market conditions, risks persist, as illustrated in the recent sell-down in global markets and sharp increases in volatility caused by market participants unwinding some concentrated and crowded positions. He added that as a long-term investor, the EPF will continue with its strategy of constructing a highly diversified portfolio driven by its strategic asset allocation. Better equity market performance, both domestically and in the global developed markets, drove income growth compared to the 7.84 billion ringgit recorded in the second quarter of 2023. The EPF has allocated more than 80% of its annual allocation for new investments to the domestic market and remains dedicated to supporting and contributing towards achieving the goals outlined in the Economy Madani framework. Zulkarnain also stressed that the strong performance of the domestic economy reflects Malaysia's resilience and growth potential, which are driven by a healthy labour market, favourable government policies, and the global tech upcycle. On the global economic landscape, Zulkarnain said growth is projected to remain stable in 2024, with more central banks expected to begin easing monetary policy in the second half of the year as inflation continues to ease. However, he said EPF remains vigilant as the outlook remains weighed down by risks such as persistent inflation, a sharper-than-expected growth slowdown, uncertainty surrounding the U.S. election and economic policies, China's struggling property sector and weak economic recovery, and ongoing geopolitical tensions. The Election Commission has set September 28th as the polling day for the Mahkota State by-election in Johor. Its chairman, Datuk Sri Ramlan Harun, on Tuesday announced that candidate nomination is set for September 14th, while early voting is scheduled for September 24th.
Daftar pemilih pilihan raya yang akan digunakan untuk PRK Dewan Negeri N29 Mahkota Johor adalah daftar pemilih terkini sehingga daftar pemilih tambahan bulan Jun 2024 yang dikemaskini sehingga 2 Ogos 2024. Daftar pemilih pilihan raya bagi PRK Dewan Negeri N29 Mahkota Johor ini mengandungi seramai 66,318 orang pemilih.
Speaking after chairing a special EC meeting on Tuesday, Ramlan said that 1,126 EC officers will be deployed to manage the by-election. The Johor state seat fell vacant following the death of its incumbent, Datuk Sharifah Azizah Said Zain, on August 2nd. The former Johor Wanita UMNO chief was admitted to the intensive care unit after experiencing breathing difficulties. Bukit Aman's Anti-Money Laundering Criminal Investigation Unit has frozen almost 300 million ringgit worth of financial assets of a foreign illegal online gambling operator. The man, who is said to hold dual citizenship, had attempted to launder money he had obtained through commissions from the gambling activities he hosted. Bukit Aman Amla Unit Chief Datuk Muhammad Hasbullah Ali said the assets seized, worth 299.61 million ringgit, comprised a central depository system account with stocks worth 281 million ringgit, an escrow account with 18.56 million ringgit in it, and two local bank accounts with 58,048 ringgit in them. He added that investigations revealed the escrow account was managed by an offshore bank in Labuan.
Suspek juga telah mengelirukan pihak berkuasa dengan cara memanipulasikan masukkan wang perolehan daripada wang haram daripada luar negara ke dalam sistem ekonomi negara ini melalui perkhidmatan kewangan luar pesisir, iaitu kita pakai di Labuan. Siasatan selanjutnya mendapati sindiket ini telah memperoleh hasil daripada aktiviti haram dengan mengambil komisen dalam wang-wang yang telah dipertaruhkan oleh pemain-pemain judi atas talian.
The banks had tipped off police after suspicious activities involving the movement of funds were observed. Investigations revealed that the suspect, in his 30s, was believed to be receiving commission from the gambling activities of more than 10,000 users who used his online gambling facilities. Investigations revealed that between 2012 to 2020, he had earned an estimated 14.05 billion ringgit from these activities. Muhammad Hasbullah said further checks revealed that since last year, the suspect transferred over 371 million ringgit to Malaysia for the purpose of money laundering. It was reported that one of the countries that he holds citizenship in has already put him on the Interpol's red notice for illegal gambling operations and money laundering. Meanwhile, police have busted an investment scam syndicate that has been using the name of New York-based private equity firm Warburg Pincus to dupe people, with the arrest of 10 individuals. The syndicate reportedly duped some 44 victims out of 21.9 million ringgit. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department Director Datuk Sri Ramli Muhammad Yusof said the suspects, 5 men and 5 women, aged between 21 and 52, were detained in raids in Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Johor, Perak, Kedah, Sabah and Sarawak on July 30th and 31st. Those detained were the scam company owners and directors.
Iklan promosi pelaburan dibuat dengan mengaplikasikan sistem algoritma Facebook bagi menjamin hasil yang optimal. Pulangan setinggi 11% hingga 15% sebulan ditawarkan kepada pelabur bagi menarik perhatian mereka. Sindiket juga didapati menawarkan khidmat cikgu trading, ni sifu untuk membimbing pelabur-pelabur bagi menjana pendapatan maksimum.
Police also seized items including 8 mobile phones, an ATM card, and a copy of a company registration document. Investigations showed that the syndicate has been operating since early this year. It was found that victims would have to download a mobile application and use it to transfer money to what is believed to be a mule account. But in the end, the victims did not receive any returns on their investments. Police have also frozen 35 bank accounts containing more than 162,000 ringgit in funds as part of the investigation. Now, a suspect who was involved in a robbery on a goldsmith in Kajang last June was shot dead by police in a shootout near the Sungai Balat Toll Plaza on the Silk Highway on Tuesday afternoon. The incident occurred at about 3 p.m. while a team from Bukit Aman's Criminal Investigation Department was patrolling the area. According to Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan, the police attempted to stop the vehicle being driven by the suspect, but the man refused to cooperate and instead opened fire at the police. The officers returned fire, hitting the suspect, who was pronounced dead at the scene. One police officer was also injured in the exchange of gunfire. The suspect, who was in his 30s, had 6 previous records related to robbery and was believed to be involved in the brazen heist at a goldsmith at Plaza Metro Kajang last June, where 4 masked robbers fled with about 3.2 million ringgit worth of jewelry. The case is being investigated under Section 307 of the Penal Code. In Pulau Pinang, a senior citizen in her 80s was fatally stabbed with a pair of scissors while trying to break up a family altercation in Kepala Batas on Tuesday. The incident, which occurred around 11 a.m., involved the victim, who was at home with her nephew, a man in his 40s, and his mother, who was in her 70s. It was learned that a violent argument erupted between the suspect and his mother, leading the elderly woman to intervene. A fight apparently broke out between the suspect and his mother. The victim tried to break up the fight. The suspect, angered by her intervention, grabbed a pair of scissors from the table and allegedly stabbed her on the left side of her head. Despite being rushed to Seberang Jaya Hospital for treatment, the victim was pronounced dead. The suspect's mother, who was also injured in the altercation, was taken to Kepala Batas Hospital for medical care, said the source. The suspect was said to have fled on a motorcycle but was nabbed shortly afterward. It is believed that the suspect might have been suffering from mental health issues. State Police Chief Dato' Hamzah Ahmad, who confirmed the incident, said the suspect will be remanded to facilitate a probe. Police have recorded statements from 5 Tapah prison officers in the course of investigating the drone found with a laundry bag containing drugs on the jail's roof last week. Perak Police Chief Dato' Azizi Mat Aris also confirmed that more officers and inmates will be called in to have their statements recorded to assist in the investigation. Azizi said the individuals called in include security post guards and officers who were manning the CCTV cameras at the prison. Police believe the person who was flying the drone lost control of it before it crashed on the roof.
Bawa dadah masuk ke penjara bukan pertama kali, tetapi drone yang jatuh itu pertama kalinya dijumpai di situ dan kerana kegagalan.
Azizi added there had been 6 previous cases where drugs were smuggled into the prison. The first case was recorded in 2022, where a prison officer was arrested and about 13.35 grams of methamphetamine was seized. Man charged with 11-year-old girl's attempted murder. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return.
Berkorban demi cinta, sama seperti Romeo dan Juliet.
Betul.
Dengan mereka berdua meminum racun rumpai.
11 pagi semalam dirancang suspek berusia 36 tahun.
Ini seolah-olah cinta tiga segi di antara si mati dan bakal tunangnya dengan tertuduh.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
We're back with the Foreign Front. A man has appeared in court charged with attempted murder following the stabbing of an 11-year-old girl in Leicester Square in central London. Ioan Pintaru, a Romanian citizen of no fixed abode, appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court on Tuesday and was charged with attempted murder and possession of a bladed article. Pintaru was remanded in custody to next appear at the Old Bailey on September 10th. Prosecutor David Burns said the girl and her mother were in Leicester Square as tourists when she was stabbed 8 times with a steak knife, leaving her with wounds to the face, neck, shoulder and wrist. Her injuries were assessed as serious but not life-threatening. It was initially believed that the girl's mother was also hurt, but it was later confirmed that blood from her daughter's injuries had been mistaken for injuries of her own. In the meantime, the UK will remain on high alert over the violent disorder that swept through parts of Britain, despite tensions appearing to subside over the weekend. Downing Street on Monday said the government welcomed the de-escalation of the riots, but emphasized that they were not complacent, as the work is not done in dealing with the fallout from the violence. It came after police had been braced for further riots, but no widespread unrest arose after a large turnout of anti-racism protesters and warnings that those involved could face 10-year prison sentences. Meanwhile, rioters could spend less time behind bars amid efforts to cut prison overcrowding. Over in Turkey, police have arrested a teenager who on Monday stabbed at least 5 people at a mosque in the northwestern city of Eskişehir. It was reported that the 18-year-old suspect, who was wearing a helmet and a bulletproof vest, stabbed at least 5 people sitting in the garden of the mosque, leaving 2 in a critical condition. He was apprehended after a police chase. Local media have speculated the attack, which the teen streamed live, may have been influenced by a video game. Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said on Tuesday that an investigation has begun, but he did not elaborate on the motive behind the attack. Now, Ukraine claimed it was controlling 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory as its forces pressed their biggest cross-border incursion in 2.5 years of full-scale war. Ukraine's Army Chief Oleksandr Syrsky on Monday said they continued to conduct an offensive operation in the Kursk region 7 days after it began. The top military commander added that his forces now control a considerable area of Russia's neighboring region across the border from Sumy. His claims were backed up by Kursk region's governor, who acknowledged that Ukrainian forces had advanced 12 kilometers deep and 40 kilometers wide into Russian territory. Russian leader Vladimir Putin, in the meantime, described the offensive as a major provocation and ordered Russian forces to expel the enemy out of their territory. The Ukrainian troops launched their surprise attack last Tuesday, advancing up to 30 kilometers into Russia. Selangor ease past Sabah. Action from the Super League when we come back.
Berkorban demi cinta, sama seperti Romeo dan Juliet.
Betul.
Dengan mereka berdua meminum racun rumpai.
11 pagi semalam dirancang suspek berusia 36 tahun.
Ini seolah-olah cinta tiga segi di antara si mati dan bakal tunangnya dengan tertuduh.
Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports. The Badminton Association of Malaysia, BAM, has acknowledged that its players fell short of their target at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games by not securing the gold medal. Its Secretary General, Datuk Kenny Goh, stated that while the team did not achieve their goal, he emphasized the need to move past this setback and focus on enhancing future performances.
We just did not achieve our target. I wish we could be better, all right, of course. We wanted gold badly, but we did not. So, I'm not giving any excuses here, but we need to put this behind us and move and see how we can improve further. Yeah, we failed to hit the target, but don't forget, badminton is still the sport that contributes medal to the entire contingent in almost every Olympics.
At the Paris Olympics, BAM's players secured a bronze medal in men's doubles through Aaron Chia and So Woo Yik, and another bronze from national top professional singles shuttler Li Zijia. Meanwhile, national track cyclist Datuk Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang said he needs time to think about his future after being asked to reconsider his plans to retire from the team.
A few days after race tu memang John, even Shah, my team memang berharaplah kalau saya boleh reconsider untuk teruskan sampai LA. Tapi I think for me I just need time dulu lah. I need time to sit down with the family, clear my mind semua, because apa yang berlaku ni memang something unusual for my career.
Azizul Hasni said this to the media after the national track cycling squad returned to Malaysia on Tuesday. Previously, the 36-year-old has long said that he wants to retire after the Paris Olympics and allow the next generation of riders to take over. Responding to this, Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh said the Road to Gold RTG program will continue to support him if he decides to keep on racing for the country. Azizul Hasni's Kieran campaign in Paris came to an early end after he was disqualified in his opening round heat for overtaking the Derny before it left the track. Moving on to football, the Super League. Harith Haikal Adam Afkar scored a late winning goal to give Selangor FC a 2-1 comeback victory against Sabah FC on Tuesday night. The Rhinos took the lead in the 27th minute, no thanks to an own goal by the Red Giants skipper Muhammad Safwan Baharuddin. Selangor fought back and equalized through Ronnie Fernandez 5 minutes later, making it 1-1 at halftime. Harith Haikal emerged hero as he reacted the quickest to slot home a loose ball from a close range after 5 minutes from time, securing the 2-1 win for the Red Giants. The win leaves Selangor in second place with 19 points, 3 points adrift of defending champions Johor Darul Takzim. Surau stabbing. 2 men remanded for 7 days. The details after the short break.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Berkorban demi cinta, sama seperti Romeo dan Juliet.
Betul.
Dengan mereka berdua meminum racun rumpai.
11 pagi semalam dirancang suspek berusia 36 tahun.
Ini seolah-olah cinta tiga segi di antara si mati dan bakal tunangnya dengan tertuduh.
Thanks for staying with us. The 46-year-old local man detained in connection with a knife attack in Selangor that left 2 women injured has been remanded for 7 days. Petaling Jaya District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Shahrul Nizam Jaafar said the suspect was remanded along with a 55-year-old male friend after they were brought to a Petaling Jaya Magistrates Court on Tuesday. According to Shahrul Nizam, the duo were arrested at the friend's home in Kajang at about 1:45 a.m. Police are investigating under Section 307 of the Penal Code for attempted murder. Initial investigation revealed that the 2 victims did not know the main suspect. Police are still investigating the motive behind the attack. On Friday, 2 women, a headmistress of a religious school in Kelana Jaya, and a mobile phone dealer were injured after being stabbed by a man armed with a Rambo-style survival knife. The 1:45 p.m. incident reportedly occurred in a women's restroom near a religious school and Surau. CCTV footage from a house near the crime scene showed the alleged assailant fleeing in a car. Police were able to obtain the car registration number from the footage. In Sabah, 13 teenagers were charged in the Tawau High Court on Tuesday with the murder of a 17-year-old student at Lahad Datu Vocational College in March. All accused pleaded not guilty before Judge Dato Duncan Sikodol. Following their plea, the court scheduled a 10-day trial period with proceedings set to start from November 18th to 20th and November 25th to 29th. Meanwhile, all accused will be remanded at the Tawa prison starting Tuesday, awaiting the trial dates. The accused, aged between 16 and 19, are charged with jointly murdering Muhammad Nazmi Aizat Muhammad Narul Azwan in a dormitory room at the Lahad Datu Vocational College between March 21st and March 22nd. They are charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, read together with Section 24 of the same code, which provides for the death penalty or imprisonment for 30 to 40 years and not exceeding 12 lashes upon conviction. On March 22nd, Muhammad Nazmi Aizat was found dead with injuries and bruises in a dormitory room at the college. The prosecution is expected to call between 10 and 12 witnesses throughout the trial. In Johor, a teacher was charged at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on Tuesday to 4 charges of failing to report bribes amounting to 33,870 ringgit to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. The accused, 54-year-old Abdul Aziz Hussein, pleaded not guilty before Judge Dato Ahmad Kamal Arifin Ismail after the charges were read to him. According to the charge sheet, the accused was bribed by a 56-year-old man and a 51-year-old woman through 4 transactions which ranged from 1,300 ringgit to 17,070 ringgit and allegedly failed to report all the gifts to MACC. It was in violation of provision MACC Act 2009, which requires any person given, promised or offered any bribe to report the matter. All the offences were allegedly committed at a bank in Kota Tinggi on November 9th, 2022 and January 17th last year under Section 25(2) of the same Act, which carries a fine of not more than 100,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 10 years or both upon conviction. The court set bail at 20,000 ringgit for all charges with one surety, with the additional condition of reporting to the Batu Pahat MACC office once a month and handing over his passport to the court. The case has been scheduled for mention on September 8th for document submission. A trailer driver in his 30s was injured after the vehicle caught fire following an accident near the Jalan Duta Toll Plaza in Segambut, Kuala Lumpur. The Kuala Lumpur Fire and Rescue Department received an emergency call at about noon before a team of firemen from the Sri Hartomas Fire and Rescue Station were dispatched to the scene. A team of 9 firemen arrived at the scene about 10 minutes later, equipped with a water tanker. Upon arriving at the scene, the team found the lorry which had been partially burnt and started dousing the flames. The trailer driver sustained injuries on his hands and head. He was referred to the medical response team for treatment. The fire was completely doused at 1:48 p.m. Clips of the incident which had been shared on social media showed the trailer's fuel tank leaking onto the road before catching fire. Another trailer was seen stopping in the emergency lane, but it is unclear whether it was involved in a collision with the overturned container trailer. Nightline draws to a close this time around. Let's take a look at visuals of the Canadian Forces Snowbirds performing during the 2024 Abbotsford International Air Show in Abbotsford. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for tuning in and be safe.